Hey guys, welcome back to Walden's World. I'm going to attempt to build this SSR 170 one-handed with my left hand at that. Got a broken scapula and my ribs healed by now, but I think I got some ligament damage and some other shoulder issues. So, hey guys, thanks for watching. I got my cylinder. I went ahead and honed it out. Got some pretty good crosshairs in there. I got rid of most of that lip that was in there, and there's nothing there that I can grab with a fingernail. We're going to use a little thinner. We had to make our own base gasket, so no big deal there. We're going to use the old head gasket. Normally I'd use carb cleaner, but I actually think I'm out right now. So I'll wash it off with some isopropyl alcohol. I do not use gas, because gas technically has got oil in it too, and they'd leave an oil coating. We got some oil here. We'll get our piston kit set up, which is here, get our rings on there, and get ready to put it in. So stay tuned for part 2. Thanks for watching. For some of y'all that have never done one before, whatever side you're working on the piston, so obviously intake's going to go up. I'm going to work from this side, so I went ahead and put that pin in first, that clip. And you can push them in sideways. They're pretty easy. The next one, you're going to need like needle nose pliers, or I use hemostats too. I dip my pin in a little bit of oil, and that way it goes in nice and easy. This is my old piston, by the way. And then when I go to build this top end, this is basically would be sitting up like this, and I'll put one ring gap there, and I put the other one on the bottom, which this ring is off right now. And you've got a little bit of motion up and down on play on there. So on my top ring, I'll first get that gap in there, and then I can go back and I can push this ring in with my finger. Sometimes I use my fingernail, and with this beveled cylinder, that'll pop in. And once this pops in, this will drop down. So if you've got your other ring gap pushed in here, it's already going to go start to push that in, and then you can wiggle it in. All right, got the jug on. Pulled the timing chain through. Of course, I oiled the cylinder, so got a bunch of oil dripping. I'm gonna pull that timing chain a little bit, make sure it's at top dead center, and then I copper coated the head gasket, and I'll clean this off with some good cleaner, and we'll go from there. Head gasket's on, and can't forget my guide pins. So I'll work on getting them on. Should be one here and one up there. All right, got my guide pins in there and everything's good. Got my other timing chain guide on there too, don't forget that. Let's get this head on. All right, we're gonna get our timing done. Back behind this gasket, there's a little notch on the case, which will match with this top dead center. And our cam will line up here, and then there's usually a notch somewhere on the front of here that we're gonna line up. And on these, you'll need to pull out your deal here, and then it's got a little keeper here. I'm still messing one-handed. We'll drop that down in, and don't put your spring back on yet. Just put these bolts in and leave your spring till last. All right, if you look, that's probably pretty well lined up right there. And that's probably a little bit past top dead center. But once I put my spring in there, that's gonna pull the top side of this chain down, and it's gonna pivot that wheel back. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your timing. Cam actually looks a little bit off to me, but we'll see if it runs. The valves ain't hitting. I turned it over a couple of times. Put it back together. I'm gonna leave that off for now and see if it runs. All right. Hopefully I'm in the camera. Aiden's still got a few things to fix, but let's see if we can kickstart it. My arm's still jacked up. Gas is on. It's got so much compression. Pull off this crappy filter. Get it to run right. bigger filter. I think this is flooding it out. We'll leave it on there now just to keep it protected. But she sounds crispy. Hella compression. And if the clutch holds up, this ought to be a pretty fun ride. Y'all like, subscribe, hit the notification button, all that. We're out of here.